Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue. Today at Manufacturers Country Club, you could tell what a view from the opening tee box here at Mannies. And coming up on today's show, we're going to talk to Bob Sheppard. Haven't seen Bob in a while on Inside Golf. He's still writing, still talking about and writing about the game that he loves. And we'll also introduce you to a guy who made history. He's a member here at Mannies. His name is Rich Louns. How did he make history? He made two holes in one in the same round on number 8 and number 13 at Manufacturers. It's next on Inside Golf.
Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirstteephiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. By the Haverford Trust Company. Quality is in our DNA. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA. Experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.
Golf has always provided the health benefits of fresh air, focus, and fun. Now let's apply social distancing to the game we love.
Stay home if sick and always stay 6 feet apart and avoid large gatherings on the course.
Try thumbs ups or fist pumps, not handshakes or fist bumps.
When in doubt, just don't touch and wash your hands.
Mark your ball clearly and wear a cloth facial covering when taking a lesson.
Finally, respect your fellow golfers and let's be grateful for every swing.
Welcome back. Inside Golf continues with a very dear friend of the program for several years. Well, this gentleman who is joining us now appreciates golf more than anybody. Bob Sheppard. Shep, how you doing?
Good, Harry. How you holding up?
With you here, I gotta be fine. Let me tell you.
Can't be bad, right? There you go.
I underestimated how much you appreciate the game of golf, but let's give our viewers a sense of that appreciation for the game. For you, Bob, a longtime PGA professional, it came at a very young age because your dad, Glenn Sheppard, himself was a professional golfer. Do you remember the first time your dad put your hands on a club and said, "Here's how to hold it, Bobby"?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think I have it documented in a picture. He was the pro at North Hills Country Club. I sort of born into the game, you know? Yeah. But my dad was the pro there, and it was a great time. We had a good time over there.
Absolutely. And you also worked as a head professional at Sandy Run for years.
Yep.
And one of your last jobs, I guess, was as an assistant pro to the late good friend of both of ours, of course, Ronnie Rolfe at North Hills. Yes. Sort of like you went full cycle.
Right, yeah. And we used to kid about if he ever retired, I'd be the next pro, and then I'd be I would be born there and also the head pro there and Sandy Run, back. And that was all me, and he was the architect for the two clubs, which was sort of a nice venue too. So, but anyhow, we had a great time with the two.
Bob, you told me you were sort of a phenom as a youngster. Everybody knew who Bob Sheppard was when you were growing up as a teenager. You could hit the ball to the moon and back. But you also had the chance several times, you told me, and I want you to share this story. The great John McDermott, who unfortunately had his career ended at a very young age due to health concerns.
Yeah.
But he would visit Sandy Run on a Sunday afternoon thanks to his two sisters who brought him there. And he would wind up occasionally watching you play golf. What was that like?
Well, it was beautiful. I was young. I was a young teenager. And of course, Jock McKenzie was the pro at Sandy Run. My dad worked with him. And John was always welcome. His sisters would come in and drop him off and he didn't have anybody to play with. And most of the people didn't want to associate with him because he used to wear a big overcoat, and he was a little standoffish. He wasn't a front, he wasn't out shaking hands or anything. But I used to go play golf with him, and not really aware of just what a great honor it was to be out with him. And as he got older, he stopped playing, but he kept coming over and following me. So he would, then in that time, he would sit in the golf cart with Jock or my dad and follow me around the golf course. And yeah, he was a star. There was no doubt about it. And he was down at Atlantic City Country Club, and I hung around there quite a bit. And it was always it was good. It was good. It was a nice event in my life. But as I got older, I said, oh my God, what was I doing? That was a champion, the best of all, first of all,
Absolutely. First American to win a U.S. Open, and he won 2 of them.
Yeah.
Bobby, let's talk about your pro career besides in the Philadelphia area. It took you overseas. And I know you got a chance to meet some of the great players of Europe, including maybe one of the best of all time, Seve Ballesteros. Tell us about that. Okay, so I had a good entree over there. I went over to qualify for the Open and didn't make it. And anyhow, there was a friend there named Alex Hay. He was the pro at Woburn, and he was also like the Jim McKay of our sports announcers here. And he was very well liked and great speaker. He was a super guy. And he took me under his wing. He was staying at the same house I was, and he took me under his wing. We became buddies, and we went out and mapped the whole course out with the cameras and stuff. And we with him, and then we went out with Bobby Clampett and Seve on a practice round. And Clampett ended up leading the tournament for 3 days, and then he blew up the 4th. But regardless of that, in those practice round days, I hung around with Seve. And he wasn't easy to get along with, only because he didn't know what he was talking about. He was speaking Spanish and real quick, and he was a very emotional guy. But eventually he calmed down when he realized that I wasn't going to be the deterrent. And he went over and took me aside and started showing me how to hit wedge shots. I'll never forget it. I was like, I had mouth open and stuttering, just like I couldn't. He was dropping them on hard pan and picking them off and just doing the most marvelous shots you could ever imagine. And amazing. Bob, in the latter stages now of your career, you've taken to writing 3 books already, a blog. What motivated you to start becoming a writer? It's actually been my concern for the history of the game. I really appreciate golf's past. And my new book coming up is called The Future of Golf Lies in Its Past. And I'm trying to resurrect all the little stories from the years gone by that would be of interest to keep people's interest in the game. And so far, it's been pretty successful. I've had some good luck with both books. So that would be. Where can people find out about your books, Bob? Do you have a website or? Yeah, it's on Amazon. They can always contact me too if they would like to. It's shepherdgolf@gmail.com. So it's shepherdgolf@gmail.com. How many holes in one have you had in your career? I had 2 so far. Yeah. 2. How many? 2? I had one in Bermuda, and I had one at the Ace Club, which is. Well, you know what? We're going to take a break. We're going to come back and meet a fellow from Manufacturers, and I think you know him. He's had 2 in 1 round recently. Right. How about that? That's pretty good. Right. We're going to meet him. Rich Louns is his name. Beautiful. We'll be back with Rick. But first, Shep, always a pleasure. Great, Harry. And keep that writing skill coming, okay? Yeah, I'll get you a copy of my book when it publishes. Okay, autographed special. Bobby Sheppard. Right. More to come. The man who had 2 holes in one in 1 round. That's next on Inside. I think I kind of went like this. Welcome back. Inside Golf continues from Manufacturers Golf Club. And we are with Rich Louns, who made history, Rich. Congratulations. Rich had 2 holes in 1 in the same round. About a little more than an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half separated them.
Right.
One of them right here on the 8th. The other one not far away on the back 9 on number 13. How many holes in 1 have you had?
I've only had 1 before, and that was back in 2011, and that was on our par 3 11th, which is kind of directly behind us.
So all of them here at Mannies?
All of them here at Mannies, yep.
Wow. Now you're a pretty good player, Rich. Don't be humble. Tell us, what's the index now?
Index now is 6.1. Used to be a little lower, but right now it's up a little bit.
It's going to trend
It
lower,
might
is
drop.
it?
It might drop.
Wow. Now this was in a competition too, right? What was it?
This was in the Bud Lewis Azalea tournament. So it's our premier event, which was postponed a little bit because of the COVID. But we normally have it in May, and we had it in June a couple weekends ago. So it's a great event, team event. A lot of players from manufacturers look forward to it.
A lot of screaming and hollering out here.
A lot of screaming and hollering.
At least on the 8th. What happened when you went to 13?
13, more screaming and hollering, and then when you get in, everybody's screaming and hollering because they've got a couple free drinks coming.
That's
so
right.
it's
How
really
about
nice.
that?
It's really nice for everybody.
Bonus day for everybody at Manufacturers. All right, you ready to maybe try to duplicate that for our Inside Golf viewers?
I'll try to give it a shot, Harry.
All right, this is they call this the quarry hole, correct?
Quarry hole, yep.
It's an iconic hole, and they set up this morning the course pretty much where it was when you made some history.
Yes, they did.
By the way, the odds are like 70 million to 1.
Yeah, I think they researched it 67 million to 1.
And there's only been done, you ready? On the PGA Tour in competition 3 times.
3 times, I read
where
that.
a guy has made a hole-in-1 twice in the same round. And Rich now joins that exclusive club. Pitching wedge?
Pitching
Rich?
wedge, yep. Was
Okay.
117 yards that day. This is about right, 117.
Okay. What time of day was it when you...
This was in the
hole-in-one?
morning. We had a 10, 12 tee time, so this would have been right around noontime.
Okay. So a little later than what we are right now. It's a beautiful day here at Mannies. Birds are chirping, grass is green, mowers are doing their job, and you're going to show us if you can make history again for
I'm
us,
going to
huh?
try.
This won't count. It's only a twosome, and I'm not even playing.
We'll just try and hit the green.
There you go. Right in the center of the green, too, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, Rich. I kind of lost it in those clouds.
Went a little bit left.
A little left, not quite in. Now, when you hit the iconic shot here, where did it hit in relation to the pin?
It hit a little bit in back of the pin and spun back in.
Wow, so
Yeah.
you could see it clearly.
You could see it clearly. Now there's foam in the cup, so it's a little bit difficult, but you could see it go in, and you go up and double check it because, but you could see that one.
Absolutely.
13 was harder.
And they call this the quarry hole because, as you can see, there is between us here on the tee and the hole a rather deep quarry. It's a pretty tough walk down those steps sometimes, but you probably just glided down those steps.
Yeah, I was walking that day at a caddy. Everybody was excited, so yeah, walked down the steps, and the other fellows were in carts, but it was great.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And little did you know that just, like I said, a little more than an hour and 15, 20 minutes later on the back 9, and from where we stand, it's about, 65 yards
65
away.
yards.
The green at number 13. Now that was a whole different hole. Let's take a look from the vantage point of the tee, what you did on number 13
Okay.
just a few minutes later. Rich and I have now moved back 9, number 13 here at Mannies on the tee, about 220, 25 yards away, Rich. And this is a, tough golf shot. There are times even good players like you maybe are just lucky to get on the green, let alone in the bottom of the hole, huh?
Getting on the green is a good accomplishment. There's a lot of times you don't even come close.
You have in your hands the club that did it. What is it?
This is a TaylorMade 5-wood M4. It's been a trusty club ever since my buddy Jimmy Muller recommended that I put it in the bag. It's been a good addition.
And Jimmy Muller was in the group with you, right?
Jimmy
He was your
Muller's
partner?
my longtime partner. We play a lot of golf together, and he was thrilled.
How about?
As was I.
I guess so. So you hit it, you landed on the green. Tell us about where approximately the ball hit the green.
Sure, the ball landed on the green, about 6-8 feet right of the cup. Took a little turn left, There was a little wind right to left, so I played a high draw in there, and it moved a little bit to the left. You could hear it clank on the pin, but since the hole's so far away, you could have gone perhaps behind the pin and you couldn't tell, but they drove up there and looked at it and saw that it was in the cup.
Wow, how about that? Second hole-in-one in one round here at number 13. What's the closest you've ever come to a hole-in-one on this hole?
Probably a couple feet. I've made birdie here a number of times, but I've also made plenty of 4s and 5s on this hole. So closest maybe would be about 2 or 3 feet, which is close, and you're going to make a 2, but it's not a 1.
Absolutely. Wow. So your reaction? Did you jump?
We
did
were
you just drop the club. What was your first reaction?
I think I kind of went like this, and then everybody was. The other players were up at the green who had gone up and checked on the ball. Jimmy Muller and Peter Riley was caddying for us that day. They went up to the green and checked and saw that it was in the cup. So they're jumping up at the green. We're back here jumping on the tee.
And there's other guys playing, right?
There's other guys playing.
It's a tournament.
There's other guys playing. So there's guys coming
and
down
they're like,
12.
oh, don't tell me Rich did it again.
Rich made another one, and then there's guys on 8, and then shortly after that they posted on 4 tees where you see that, you know, Rich Louns made another hole-in-one, and they couldn't believe it because they posted the first one, hole-in-one on 8, and then another hole-in-one on 13. So everybody sees that who has their phone on.
You know, Rich, I always close the show by saying don't pick up, and that has a lot of meanings to a lot of different people. But, you know, for somebody like yourself, I'm sure there have been times when you've struggled with your game, and maybe, I don't want to say you ever thought about abandoning it, but you weren't playing like you'd like to. Does this really, this has to be the pinnacle of your career, right?
Oh, making 2 holes in 1 is unbelievable. I haven't been playing all that well, so to do this is really great. Yep, and yeah, I don't pick up either. I always tell people I'm trying. Might not look like it, but I am trying.
Well, you certainly didn't pick up that day. You only had to pick up, though, the ball out of the hole twice in one round. I mean, 70 million to 1 are the odds on something like that.
Yeah, it was great.
You did it.
Thank you.
Congratulations, and thanks for having us here at Mannies. I don't want to ask you what you did the next time you went to number 8 or here to number 13. I know you didn't get a hole-in-one, but you know what? That's okay.
That's all right.
Rich Louns, he made history here at Manufacturers. More to come on Inside Golf. Welcome back to Inside Golf. Time now for our Teed Off panel. And joining us today from the Philadelphia section of the PGA of America, where he is Director of Communications, Matt Fry. Matt, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Harry.
Quinn Spitzer is the president of the Golf Association of Philadelphia, a.k.a. GAP. How you doing today, Mr. Spitzer? How's things going?
I'm doing great, Harry. It's always good to see you again. Wish we were out on the golf course.
Well, we'll get there sooner or later. And from myphillygolf.com, where he has become a staple about everything that's happening in Philadelphia golf, Joe Logan is back with us. Hi, Joe.
Howdy. Good to be here.
Good to see you guys. Let's talk about a recent big match. Got some great TV ratings. And even though no fans were there down at the Medalist, the weather was a little iffy to get things started. They had a delay, but Tiger, Peyton Manning, Phil against Tom Brady, and went down to the last hole. Joe, chime in. What was your takeaway from that match?
I liked it. I liked it more than I thought I would, actually. And not only that, I think we may have seen some of the future of golf on television. I think once golf starts up again, it's going to be hard to just show tournaments in exactly the way they're used to. People want more now. They're getting used to that sort of thing. And I think TV is going to figure out a way to show it, to get players to cooperate, to wear microphones. I think this was a precursor of what we're going to see.
Yeah, it got off to a little bit of a rocky start, Quinn. Tom Brady struggled. I think we've all been there before. Here's a guy that won, 6 Super Bowls. A lot of people say he's the greatest of all time when it comes to quarterbacking in the NFL. He looked very mortal, didn't he? We could identify with Tom Brady there in those early holes.
Everybody who's a would-be athlete like myself loves to see the big names struggle, and he certainly did struggle, and it was made even more fun being an Eagle and a Steeler fan to watch Tom Brady from the Patriots actually drive the ball straight into the woods. I couldn't go ahead and get too exercised about it because it reminded me a lot of my game, but it is fun to see these people in a different setting. I mean, Peyton Manning is as charming and entertaining in a live event like this as in a scripted event when he does his commercials. So I thought it was absolutely fabulous entertainment. It was just what we needed, and it's going to have a place, but we're going to have to be careful about when we do it, how often we do it.
Yeah, Matt, I talked about Tom Brady's jitters. I think that's what it was. Phil wasn't finding too many fairways, but Phil has a way of been doing that for a while now. And, you wonder, gee, at his age, can it get worse? If it gets better, though, I mean, he's probably going to win a couple more tournaments. But Brady made a nice recovery. He had the shot of the day, too. How about that eagle he had on the back nine?
Yeah, it was really impressive. It was kind of cool to see somebody who is as accomplished as Tom Brady is or Peyton Manning is in their own field look like everyday golfers like you and me. So that was a lot of fun. And to piggyback off of what Quinn said, it was nice to hear that the Eagles are still in Tom Brady's head. He quipped that he still worries about the Eagles a little bit.
Yeah, I think Peyton Manning reminded him of that, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
At one stage. Yeah, that was pretty good. Joe, going into the event, there was a lot of action on this. Now that we have sports betting online, and the prohibitive favorites for Tiger and Peyton, and there for a while, if you had some action on Phil and Tom Brady, you were looking pretty good.
Oh, and you had, like Koepka calling in to make bets and, issue dares and things like that. I mean, it's such a different kind of golf on television. It's hard to think of going back to, some ordinary tour event with players you barely know, saying nothing. It's as solemn as a church on Sunday. People like the, of course, you got to get players with good personalities who are willing to cooperate and talk. But, this kind of thing, I think, would be good for golf on TV on a larger scale.
Absolutely. The other thing we saw was a little more of Tiger and Phil Quinn than we're used to. Both were wearing shorts. What about shorts? They let them play practice rounds in shorts now on the PGA Tour. I know you're a little old school, Quinn. What about shorts during competitive rounds of golf? Yes or no for you?
I think there are certain things that we probably ought to hang to. I am a traditionalist. You're right about that. We use caddies, the single bag caddies. We go out there on the golf courses. We play the classic course oftentimes. I think there's a place for tradition in the game. And I don't know that it's overdone to make them go ahead and put on a long pair of pants. I haven't seen any of them that have actually complained that much about it. They complain about some other things. So,
Matt, you deal on a regular basis, day to day, with local pros. Your job of Director of Communications with the Philadelphia section of the PGA. Is there any thought of allowing local pros to wear shorts in their competitions here?
We've spoken about it both at committee levels and at the board level. To this point, we are still requiring slacks on the golf course in our golf tournaments. And most pros that we've surveyed anecdotally, I think, agree with that we're held to a little bit higher standard and we'll go and wear the slacks. I'm like Quinn, a little bit of a traditionalist. I don't think I've worn shorts on a golf course since 2003. But
wow, really? We just found out that's breaking news.
But I think that warrants a conversation, maybe not necessarily at the club professional level, but on the tour level where they are athletes, and I think it helps make the game look a little bit more fun and a little bit more relatable as well.
Joe, I got 15 seconds. Yes or no on shorts on the PGA Tour?
I'll say yes. They wouldn't look good on everybody. I know some of the club pros wore them in the Philadelphia Open a year or so ago.
Okay, must have been a hot day, I guess. Yeah.
But
okay, so that's a semi yes. Joe Logan. Matt Fry, Quinn Spitzer, thank you, gentlemen. Stay with us. More to come on Inside Golf.
Golf's unique because it's filled with tradition, history, and honesty.
A golf course is like a brand new landscape every time you get to go out there.
Golf is one of the only opportunities that we have these days where you get uninterrupted chunk of time.
You have an amazing platform of premier country clubs in this area, and they're not far away. It really is a special place for guests and our members knowing that they had such history here.
There are over 300,000 yards of golf in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania.
That's going to do it for this week's edition of Inside Golf. To paraphrase Bob Sheppard's book, what would we have done if we didn't have Bob Sheppard to talk about golf, in particular, Philadelphia golf? And congratulations again to manufacturers Rich Louns, 2 holes in 1 in the same round. Coming up in future shows, we'll be going to Radnor Valley, to Lulu, and we'll also highlight what happened at the Gap Philadelphia Amateur Championship at Lancaster Country Club. I'm Harry Donahue. Remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, don't pick up. We'll see you next time on Inside Golf.
Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirstteephiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. By the Haverford Trust Company, quality is in our DNA. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.